Hi everyone, here again with Law with Dunk, the Law Guy, and I'm providing Monday's Day 19 recording of the Case a Day series a little early. So as stated in the Day 18 recording, we're going to continue with criminal law, specifically a focus on medical negligence and whether it breaks the chain of causation. With this recording, I want to develop our understanding further by providing a 2-for-1 special today by taking a look at the cases of R.V. Smith 1959 and R.V. Cheshire 1991. In R.V. Smith 1959 there was a fight between two soldiers in their barracks and the defendant stabbed the victim, piercing his lung. The victim had to be taken to the infirmary, i.e. the medical station, but was dropped twice on the way. The medical negligence here was the medical doctor underestimating the severity of the stab wound. Specifically, the medical staff pressed on the victim's chest when giving him artificial respiration. This in fact made the victim's injury worse, and the victim died 1 hour after being stabbed. It was held that the substandard medical treatment affected the victim's chances of recovery by 75%, although the court held that the defendant was still guilty of the victim's murder. The defendant tried to argue that the chain of causation must have been broken due to the substandard medical treatment, and so he couldn't be guilty of murder. However, the defendant was convicted of murder. The defendant's act was still the substantial and operating cause of the victim's death, as the wound to the lung was still active, i.e. operating, as the wound hadn't healed up at the time of the treatment, and was also a substantial cause of the victim's death, as it led to the substantial loss of blood. In R.V. Cheshire 1991, the victim was shot in the thigh and the stomach and required surgery. However, the victim later developed breathing problems and required a tracheotomy, i.e. where a tube is inserted into your throat to help you breathe. A couple of months later, the victim died because of rare complications from this tracheotomy. The doctors did miss the opportunity to diagnose the issues left with the tracheotomy procedure, and at the time of the victim's death, the victim's original wounds had almost healed and therefore weren't deemed life-threatening anymore. The court did not deem the tracheotomy along with its subsequent complications as independent of the original gunshot wounds, i.e. the wounds were the main reason for the tracheotomy procedure, and so the chain of causation was intact. Here, be aware that the prosecution only had to prove that the defendant's conduct contributed to death and didn't have to be the sole or main cause, provided the defendant's act still significantly contributed to death. As a result, causation was still proven and the defendant was found criminally liable of the victim's death. And that's it for today. Thank you from Law with Dunk, the Law Guy, and I'll see you Tuesday.